Hello YouTube, it is Champion DJK coming at you again with another video, and today we've got some Mini GT. Basically one of my favorite brands. I mean, you guys all know that. I really love Mini GT. I think they're fantastic. Lots of cool cars, some different stuff today. We got our first James Bond action going on, so I'm excited to check that one out. We got a Kaito house as well, so Kaito house and a James Bond there, or actually maybe start with the Kaito house just because it's right here. And in front we got a couple Lambos, an IMSA one and a Sterato, Liberty Walk McLaren, we got a Bugatti, we got a Skyline, we've got a Porsche 911 GT3R from the FIA World Cup Macau Grand Prix, so that is pretty cool too. Let's go ahead and start with this NSX by Kaito House. This is Kaito Works V2. I've got one of these, one of this casting already. I used the scissors to cut some carpet tape, and there's some sticky crap left. All right, anyway, let's open this up. So Kaito House NSX. That's right, we got the two little stickers on the bottom. Where is my razor blade? We will use that to cut these. I guess anytime you open one of these, there's a slight chance of a chase, but I've scored one ever in the many Kaito House that I have. Of course, some of them I got from my buddy Jay. This is not from my buddy Jay, by the way. Kaito House Car Culture for all scales. Of course, it comes in a premium box. And you got the clamshell kind of thing, and then the car itself. This is a pretty nice version of this. It's kind of like an off-white. Put the box over there. It's kind of like a beige-ish kind of creamish color. Not quite like bright white. Like I said, a little beige-ish. We got some carbon fiber weave. We've got an opening. This opens in the back here. Most of the Kaito House stuff, if you're not familiar with it, it's not straight up 1/64 scale. So if you were a snob about that, which I don't really blame you, to be honest, I'm just saying, you can see the engine inside there. They're not meant to be true 1/64 scale cars. They're meant to be kind of like, I guess if you were to take Mini GT and you make some crazy Hot Wheels with Mini GT quality, this is what you would get. And of course, Junimai, who designs these, is a previous Mattel employee and worked for Hot Wheels, and then decided to go off kind of on his own and make his own brand, Kaito House, Kaito Works, and teamed up with Mini GT to do so. And that was, I don't know, was that the right choice for him? I hope he's doing well. Very cool wheels. This is kind of a signature thing for Kaito House, having that in the base. Very nicely detailed. It's a very premium die-cast fantasy kind of thing. It's a fantasy kind of body kit. The body kit is outrageous. Yes, it's supremely wide. It looks great from the profile, though. I dig the Kaito House stuff. I'm a fan of it. I don't really care that it's not 1/64 scale. Would it be cool if it was? Yes, it would be cool if it was. Like if he all of a sudden started, you know what, I'm going to start making him 1/64 scale. He makes them all about the same size, though. So kind of a Hot Wheels kind of thing. That's his deal. That's his brand. So I respect that. It would be neat, though, if he just transitioned and started to make him 1/64 scale, like his newer castings. Which this is a newer casting. I believe this debuted last year, so it's been out in a few different colors. Actually, I think this might actually be my third version of it, because I think I have it in yellow, too. I have it in yellow, and I have the original Evasive one. Pretty cool. Pretty darn cool. All right, let's take a look at something else that's kind of a departure, you know, from regular Mini GT, and that is this really cool Aston Martin from Thunderball 007. So this is really neat. You can get this packaging in several different card art variations, and I don't even know if this is the US one or what. I forget which one I selected. Could have got it in a bunch of different languages, I think, or different movie posters from different countries for the same movie. So it comes in a clamshell like this. Not my favorite packaging. We got to cut it open. And I'm going to do that now, off camera. And open it up. Thankfully, the clamshell does come with the box that you can store the casting in. That is like my favorite thing from Mini GT. You guys all probably know that. Let's pull this card out though. Here's the card outside of it. So it is a like movie poster. Sean Connery in Thunderball. Very cool. Very premium feeling, pretty nice. It wasn't really much more expensive than a standard Mini GT, but you do get a little extra with it. And you do get this box. It is number 901 with the gold leaf printing, and it does have the clamshell inside where you can store the car, which is my like favorite thing. So really digging that. Let's check out the car. Pretty cool. So pretty, you know, standard and basic. They're probably going to do different versions of this. I believe they are doing different versions of this with the little gadgets and stuff like popped out of it. You can see it's got this like weird like ejector seat thing at the top. I think that's what it was. That opened up and I think you could eject out. Very interesting. They also are going to be using this tooling, obviously, in making just regular Aston Martins. So you will get that as well. You don't have to get necessarily this movie version, but I thought it looked beautiful in silver and thought it would be great to get. This thing's got, of course, the standard Mini GT details, which is metal, rubber tires. It's got inserted details for headlights, a painted detail for a taillight. That actually is an inserted piece that is painted. Probably a movie-accurate plate, I would assume. These mirrors are kind of rubberized. They're rubber, so it won't easily break off. And I think a pretty cool version of this little Aston Martin. So that is pretty nice indeed. So this is kind of giving you, this will give you kind of a good variety of Mini GT today. We've got a Kaido house, kind of different. We've got a movie car, which is the first time they're starting to do movie cars, and they're starting with 007. So many good cars to do for 007, or for James Bond. So I think that's a great move by them. It's pretty neat. I think it will definitely get a lot of interest. Let's do some Lambos. We've got the Lamborghini Huracan Sterrato in blue azure. I think that's what that is. I don't know for sure. I always got to cut this plastic. So this is the basic international packaging where you don't get a clamshell. They are starting to offer cars, though, in clamshell for rest of world. So if you do prefer that, in the U.S., you're going to want to go through Mio, M&J Toys, typically for Mini GT, but they are offering cars in the clamshell packaging. They are slightly more expensive to get it in a clamshell. If you're a carded collector, that's what you're going to want to go for, because you can actually, the car is packaged like this one was. And if you're a carded collector, you're going to prefer that, because obviously you don't want to buy these to keep them in a box package and never see what the casting looks like. That would be crazy. But, you know, crazier things have happened. But here it is, Lamborghini Sterrato, blue azure, or however you pronounce that. And man, this thing looks sick in blue. I almost didn't get it because I've got it in green, I've got it in white, I've got two other versions of this car, and now we got it in this blue, and this blue is a fantastic color. I'm usually not like a huge fan of blue like Lambos, You know, it's not, blue's not a color I typically think of when I think Lamborghini, right? You think something more like bright and you know, like their mantis color, the green, you know, something like that, or a bright orange, or, you know, a bright yellow, or even a red, you know, something like that. You don't normally think a cool color temperature like a blue, but this looks fantastic in blue, and like really good in blue. So I quite like it. This might be my favorite one, actually. My favorite version of it so far. Kind of a cool, crazy car. It's a Huracan designed to go a little off-road. And yeah, it's pretty sick. So definitely digging it. And again, nice Mini GT detail. Looks fantastic, feels high quality, and it's just a very nice version of this car. So quite liking that. Yeah, I know we can't really display too many cars on screen here because we got the low angle, but I like having the low angle so we can really see the car up close. All right, an IMSA Lamborghini. It is a Huracan GT3 Evo 2, number 63, IMSA 2023 Daytona, 24 hours Iron Lynx in green. And this is pretty cool. So that's another reason to love Mini GT, is the fact that they have an IMSA license. So, and they do legit race cars. And I love that. There's a few brands that do that stuff. Sparky does it. There's some Inno64 cars that are true race cars. There's some pop race stuff even that is true race cars. Tomica Limited Vintage. What else? There's quite a few brands out there that are doing some real cars, but this, I think, has the majority of them, and you know, more of them, and they do it in a great quality for a great price point. That's why it's honestly very hard not to love Mini GT. Just very hard. I mean, these things are like 11 bucks a piece, something like that, depending where you get them from. And you know, that's barely, it's not quite even double what a little premium Hot Wheels is. And I just think you get a lot for that value. Super sick, right? So they do a legit race car livery. This is actually like printed on, like tampoed graphics. It's not dot matrixy like a premium Hot Wheels. It's not water slide decals like some other brands may do. It's just, I mean, it's really good, right? Just fantastic. And they roll. They always roll. They're not a static display, so if you care about cars rolling, that's just another reason to really love Mini GT. So very, very cool. Very cool piece. Mini GT is kind of what really got me into like collecting race cars. I've always kind of liked them, more vintage racing, not necessarily modern racing stuff, but Mini GT has kind of got me into more modern race cars and wanting to collect modern race cars. So, you know, that's something, an interest I didn't really, excuse me, have all that much until I started collecting Mini GT. So kind of an interesting thing there. Let's stick with the race cars for a moment, and let's do this Porsche 911 GT3R number 27, 2023 FIA GT World Cup 70th Macau Grand Prix Hub Auto Racing Cooler Master. So we get a Porsche 911 GT3R. Very cool. So let's open it up. This is the same like Porsche is Rexy. It's the same like casting as Rexy, which was the famous one. And let's go ahead and open this up. Pretty sure it's the same tooling. And here it is. Very cool. Again, another legit racing livery. And check out the detail. The other thing we can talk about is quality control. And with Mini GT, I've, for the majority of the time, have been impressed with quality control. Now, we've got a little bit of paint missing from the rubber right there on the mirror. Or, yeah, is that what that is? Yeah. I've had a couple here and there that have been a little messed up. But it's quite rare. For the hundreds I have, and I do have hundreds, multiple hundred of these cars now. I think I have definitely over 200 cars. There is very few that I've had some issues with. Super cool. I like the rims on this with the like one Trivial Pursuit piece painted. It's pretty cool. I mean, how can you not dig this, right? How can you not dig it? You can't not dig it. Very awesome. Very, very awesome indeed. All right, we'll put that right there. We got a Joker theme going on there with purple and green. All right, and next we will look at, let's go for the Skyline. Now, I normally don't get too excited about R34s. I mean, they're cool and everything, but we've seen so many of them. You know, the hype is kind of, to me, over, but I actually thought it was refreshing to see this in red, active red, in fact. I feel like we always get them, of course, in like a white, silver, or Bayside blue, right? That's like the main color. We don't typically get these in like a red. You know, that's not super common to get these die-cast versions in red. And I think it looks great in red. I think they're also putting it out in yellow. I'll probably get that one too. Why not? I don't know. But I think this looks fantastic in red. Again, it's a roller. This casting came out quite a while ago. Definitely a good version of the Skyline. Pretty solid. Just a basic car. I mean, really, just a nice clean version in a legit color. It's got some casting, whatever, oil on it. Have to wipe that clean before we put it away, but very nice. Of course, inserted details for the taillights and the headlights. Done pretty well, pretty sharp. Little GTR logo in there. Done pretty well. And, you know, it rolls. All that good stuff. Really can't go wrong. If you want a nice copy of an R34, maybe you don't want it in red, go get it in Bayside blue. They make that as well if you want that standard, kind of more popular, I would say, iconic color of the car. You can do that. If you wanted something in a little bit more, I would call this like a little bit non-traditional, just because we don't see it that often in die-cast, right? Not to my recollection anyway, that you see this car in red. But we got it here, and I think it looks quite good, so I'm digging that. Let's go ahead and roll her over here. We have two left. I'm going to save the McLaren for last, because that's a brand new casting. This casting we have seen already, the EB110, and we actually did get it in blue. This is Super Sport blue, so I don't know if there's a difference here. There might be a difference in this actual tooling. And I don't think, actually I do. Actually, I think I might. I do, actually. I've got the previous version of it in blue pretty close by, so I might have to grab that here real quick just to see if there is some crazy difference. So here's the Bugatti EB110 Super Sport Blue Bugatti. So that's Super Sport. What's the difference? Is there a difference? Probably is. It's Mini GT. I'm gonna go grab the other one. Bear with me. I think the difference is like, yeah, there is totally a difference. Okay, very cool. So it is legit different. The wing is different. The little side air vent thingies are different. I'm guessing the the engine's pretty close to looking the same tooling. But here's the like OG one, and then here's the Super Sport. So you can see the wing on this one. But the wing, I think, went up and down on this anyway. But the wing does not go up and down, I don't think, on this one. It's like fixed in place, and it's like definitely up there. It's a different style wing. Same color, different wheels. So there's your difference. So they do some subtle differences, and that, I love that stuff. I love nerding out over those little bitty differences. If you can learn something from die-cast, learn a little bit about a car, something you may not have realized before. Even the window's different. So the window's got that line in it right there. It's got it was tooled with it, but they didn't like detail it on purpose on this one to make it different. I took some pretty darn cool pictures of this one, put it on my Instagram at one point in time. It turned out really neat. But yeah, so very cool to see the slightly different Super Sport version of the car. Very awesome, and something Bugatti still does to this day is they make a Super Sport version of whatever car that's like even faster Bugatti, like it needs it. All right, so really cool, really cool. We do have one small issue with this one. I just noticed that headlight is a little popped up. I wonder if we can pop that back into place, or if there's something preventing it from popping in. I have to explore that. I've never actually like really taken one of these apart and played around with it if there was one messed up. I'm wondering if I can fix that headlight. Not something you should have to do, but we always point out when there's some sort of slight quality control problem. And yeah, that qualifies as a slight quality control problem. It took me a moment to notice it, but now that I notice it, I'm never going to not see it. And that's what happens when you get a camera real up close to things, is you notice stuff that you may have never noticed otherwise. It's just a fact of it. These castings are screwed together, by the way, so you could easily remove screws, take them apart, and possibly could be something that I could fix. It's probably some flashing left on the plastic, and it just needs to be removed, and it will push back down into place. So it is something that could maybe be done. I'm not going to do it, obviously, on camera, but just let you know it's possible. All right, moving on from that, we've got the McLaren 720S LB Works Black. So we got a Liberty Walk body kitted out McLaren, and this thing looks really rad in pictures. It's the 777. I'm hoping it looks really rad in person, and hopefully it will not disappoint. And let's go ahead and open it here. Yeah, that does look pretty mean. Pretty mean indeed. This one's having some trouble rolling. Oh, hang on. Never mind, just needed to loosen it up a little bit. And now she rolls. Liberty Walk. That does look pretty awesome. That is mean looking in black. And what other color would you even want it in? Yeah, that's pretty sick. Definitely digging that. Again, they do McLarens really well. This one's got kind of an inserted detail inside there for those headlights, which look pretty wild. Seems like those headlights wouldn't be like aerodynamic, like they would scoop air. So that's kind of interesting. But maybe they did like maybe they filter air through to the brakes or something. I don't know. Or guide air through to the brakes, whatever, what have you. Very cool. All right, I quite like this one. I think this one's really cool. Again, Mini GT, just great value for the money. You know, we had one small issue there with the Bugatti. Probably dwelled on it a little bit too long, but you know, I point those things out because you guys will notice them otherwise, and then I didn't mention it. But you know, we're gonna point that out. And will I try to fix it? I might. I can kind of see, I think, actually what's wrong. There's like a little flashing left on the plastic, and it's on the underside of this. I don't know how easy that would be to fix, but I may explore it. We'll see. All right. Anyway, thanks for watching a episode on Mini GT. We took a little bit of time here, but I hope you enjoyed it. And I love this brand. It's fantastic. I'll just never stop buying them because they're so awesome. All right. You guys let me know what you think in the comments down below, and have a good day.